Yo, what's going on, man? My name is Kyren Monteiro, man. I'm the CEO and president of Frequency Canvas. And we have not done a tour for y'all since about a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. So we want to do these like every year. We add gear. There's been a lot of changes from the last video. I want to shout out once again, behind the camera, my guy, Mark Econ II, AKA Young Pooty. Flip that thing around and let them see you, dog.
It's me. What's happening, everybody?
Yo, man, so Pooty, we gonna lock y'all in, man. Look, man, this content for y'all, we doing this all on the fly. So we wanna make sure that we wanna get y'all right, man, and we wanna show y'all the studio, and we wanna make sure y'all just stay tuned into what we doing. So we're gonna go into the first room, cause yeah, now we got 2 rooms. So we're gonna go to the canvas, what we call in the main room, and we're gonna do this. So even though it still look familiar, there's definitely some changes in here. So this is where the magic happens. There is a lot of mixing and mastering that goes on in the room. Pooty, you can actually do a little full 360 around. We got high-end podcast gear set up in the back, all of that type of stuff. And so it goes down, man. Pooty on the angles, right? So it goes down in here. So the concept of this room was that at any given time, we needed to be able to track vocals, AKA record. Anytime you hear us say or see us posting on social media, like tracking vocals, tracking is another word for record, like recording. So we needed to be able to track vocals. We needed to be able to mix records, master records, do any kind of editing for vocal production. We need to be able to do music production in here. And we also needed to be able to do podcast production on any given time. And so it's a decent sized room, but it's consumed of gear. And so space gets ate up real quick. So that is the concept. It's just at the drop of a hat, any given day, we don't know what's gonna come across the desk. We don't know what kind of call we get. We want to be ready for that. So Pooty, you ready to show them all?
Let's do it, my boy.
So, matter of fact, we can just start off with the podcast gear since you're right here. So, kind of angle on me and probably just want to. So, with this, what we want to do is we wanted to make sure that we wanted the best of the best. And so, I believe for the budget that we had, I believe we really picked the best of the best. So at the core of all of this, you got the Rodecaster Pro 1. This can support up to 4 microphones, 4 headphones. So basically you can have 4 people at one time. You can do Bluetooth calling, have the computer. We got the Mac Mini, not the Mac Mini, but the Mac Air, which is basically the Mac Mini of laptops. Right here, you see the Apple right there. So we got that, and we got that loaded up with Studio One Professional. So it goes right into the software. And yeah, so we got the Shure SM7B microphones. We got some Audio-Technica headphones, nothing crazy. Gator stands. But yeah, the NV7 microphones are phenomenal. But the Rodecaster Pro it's amazing. They have the second one out now. We debate whether we want to get it or not. We don't really see the need for it right now. I actually think that the first one is better in many areas, although the second one does have more functionality and capabilities. So yeah, so Pooty, we're gonna swing around, and then we're gonna start getting into the bulk of things. So sorry if I'm a chatterbox a little bit, but I got to do this. So in any professional studio, kind of angle it a little bit. In any professional studio, one thing that is seriously taken, every room has a philosophy to it. And so I just told you part of it, but we didn't come in here, we didn't knock down walls in these rooms. We didn't raise floors. We didn't do none of that. We had to be able to transform existing spaces into workable professional studios. So some of the main things that we thought about when we first set up these rooms, number one is the acoustics. And so on these walls, we have the London kits from Sweetwater. I believe Prima Acoustica makes them. And so that's real important. you know, bass traps in the corner and different things. If your room is not treated, recording, mixing, and mastering is going to be terribly done. And so you want to make sure that you got that. You know, another piece of gear in here, this coffee cup says, "You are the world's luckiest dad. I would love to have a daughter like me." So this was a Father's Day gift back in 2021 from my wife and daughter. One thing as well is power conditioning, right? So studios heavily depend on electricity. And so back behind this desk, we got loaded 5 of these because with so much, a lot of gear in here. You got the Furman PST-H power stations. And there's 3 main things with this, with power conditioning. You don't want to just plug your equipment up into like a regular surge from Lowe's, Costco, Walmart, like even Best Buy. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to get something that's spec'd out for recording the studios. So what this does is, first off, it has power conditioning technology built into it. So of course you're going to get surge protection. You're going to get noise filtering that, you know, keeps the equipment from making less noise, but you're also going to get power conditioning that's actually making sure that the equipment is getting clean signal. And believe it or not, this definitely affects the process of mixing and mastering. We got analog in here, so I don't want to be sending 808s and vocals or whole records out to compressors and EQ or the console, and then it's noisy. So you want to make sure that power conditioning is something that you need. And so we chose the Surge format because I didn't want a whole rack dedicated to just power conditioning. So instead of having it in the rack, I chose to have it like this behind the desk, out of sight. And it, you know, has its pros and cons, but it works for this room. Something else that's also important is the quality of cables. Now, this is all, we use Proco cables from Sweetwater. I'm proud. I know a lot of people probably use Mogami cables and things like that, which is a next step up. But when it comes to cable, you want to make sure that you're using quality cables that got neutral ends, that are shielded and soldered together. And what I mean by that is, if you open this cable up, you can see that, right? So you can see it's shielded, you can see the neutral ends, you can see it's soldered. These are great quality cables. Also, what's important with good quality cables too is that they're gonna come with a lifetime warranty. So, you know, any of these cables short out, we live in Indiana, so what you wanna make sure that we do is we just hit the road and we go to Sweetwater with some cables and be like, hey man, our cable's shorted out, and we do it, right? So at the core of this studio is just like any other studio. You have a computer, you have a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation. Our digital audio workstation in this room is Studio One, best DAW ever, better than Pro Tools, better than Logic, better than Cubase, all of that. So Pro Tools is the main DAW in this room. We do have others, and we can have access to any others. So that is the main thing. And then we just have we have a mini console going on that we sum through, that we record through, and then we're going to start going around. So yes, you see manuals right here, and that's very important. So you can kind of stand back and just watch with me. And so at the core of this, we have the SSL 6 console. And I'm summing 10 channels through this console and then coming back in 2. So what that means is, if I have a mix inside of the DAW, I'm coming back, I'm summing that mix up into 10 channels, rather it's 20 or rather it's 100 tracks. I'm summing that up. So the first 2 channels will have drums and bass. Second channel will have all instruments. Third channel will have vocals. Sometimes it's just, depending on how many vocal stacks, it may be main vocals, just main vocals, and then backgrounds together, or we may split it up, and then we have 2 external stereo tracks right here that can be summed up. All of that gets summed up. We come through this, what is called the analog heat, which is a distortion EQ box, basically like a stereo channel strip. It's phenomenal. what it does is unfair, kind of, if you don't have one. But in our racks, we have the Quantum 2626s by PreSonus Thunderbolt 3, some of the fastest interfaces on the planet. We have the Patch Bay. We got the Blackline Audio TS, the PBR Patch Bay, which is all 1/4 inch. Under here, we got a Warm Audio 1073 clone, which is amazing. We got a DBX 160 clone, famous compressor. We have the Blackline Audio 17, which is their clone of an 1176. We have the Warm Audio clone of their version of an 1176, and then we got the VLA2 by the Pro VLA2 by Art, which is amazing. Then if you come up, we have that going into these Golden Age 2254s, which are Neve renditions. And then we got the one and only Focusrite ISA mic pre. Like I said, we do have the SSL. Not only do we sum through this thing for mixing, but we also can track through this. And when we track through this, we got the one and only AKG 414. That goes through the SSL. And that combo is amazing. That microphone with that EQ and compression and circuitry is just amazing. Next to it, we have the Mojave MA300, one and only, one of the best microphones on the planet. I don't care what nobody say. And that goes through the ISA. That's kind of our go-to. And then we can jump on the Patch Bay. We can jump through, you know, different EQs and compressors if we want to. When we track vocals, we have the 6400s from KRK. I think those are best for tracking vocals, and they just work great for tracking vocals. I don't really like them for mixing and mastering, but they work. Next, moving right along, man, we can go to our speakers. For our monitors, we got 4 different pair of speakers in here. We got the Avantone Mix Cubes for a reference monitor. Those are our C pair. Our B pair are the Focal Alpha 50 Evos. So these are the 2nd generation that came out maybe at the end of 2021, I think, is when they came out. And then my babies, what's been going on for years, we got the KRK V8s. These are not rockets. Yes, they're KRKs. Yes, they look yellow, but they're not rockets. These are a step up above the rockets. And then we have the iLouds from IK Multimedia right here. For control surface, we got the Fader Port 8. It's nice to be able to get away from the mouse. We have a Mac Mini power in the studio. We still got an Intel in this room. We don't have the M1 or the M2. What they on the M20, however many Apple got. They come out with a new one every day, it seems like. So we still got that. We have the PreSonus monitor station version 2 for the monitor controller. On the wrist we have Boulevard.
Yep.
And then for in the engineering chair we have the KRK 8400. So these are a better version. And then behind that, if you look, we got some meters jumping. We got the Clarity M surrounded by some bottles of Sprites. And that's very, you know, very important. We can see our LUFs. We can see different things on there. Meters are important in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Definitely important. And then, you know, for when it's time to produce music and make beats and stuff, we had to go Native Instruments. So we got the Native Instruments, the 61 controller. And then obviously over here we have the machine controller as well. And me, myself, personally, the dope thing about machine is you can use it inside of any DAW, Logic, Studio One, Pro Tools, or whatever. But I actually like to use the machine DAW itself, the machine sequencer itself. It's just really fast. And then under that, we got some Nectar controllers. Yes, we have boxes. Yes, we do. But we got some Nectar controllers. We got a regular sustain pedal. Got a regular expression pedal. Over here, we have some great juices. We got the Warm Audio, LA2A clone, the WA2A. That boy is amazing. See the meter moving. We can just adjust it like that. And yeah, I love this thing, man. It's amazing on vocals. It's amazing if you do a side-by-side plug-in versus hardware. That analog is going to be winning. Under that, we just added this weeks ago. We got the Warm Audio version of the SSL Bus compressor. This thing is amazing. Even though we have one built into the 6 console, it's a limited version. So I think it was better for us to add that. Under that, we got the DBS 376 vacuum tube channel strip. Has a mic preamp in it. Has a 3-band parametric EQ, a compressor, which is the DBS 160 style, and then it has a de-esser. Very warm, very aggressive. Great on vocals, great on guitars, great on drums. Great on any mono source that you want to run through it. And they don't even make those anymore. So if you missed out on those, then ha! And then, you know, we are real engineers around here. So, you know, we have our chart of our patch bay, which we actually got to add the Warm Audio SSL clone on there because we haven't done it. So, yeah. So that is a part, you know, so we got a decent amount of gear in here. Definitely. Obviously, we loaded up with plugins, all your favorite analog emulations. We got them in here. When it comes to software, like vocal production, you know, we're loaded down with everything that you're going to need from Melodyne to, you know, obviously auto-tune to vocal align for timing. Everything you're going to need, you know, audio restoration. Everything you're going to need from a major studio is definitely in this room. 2 secret weapons also, before we hop over to the next room, is these 2 things right here. These are secret weapons. These are from TC Electronic. They are plugins that are digitally, that can be controlled that can be physically controlled. But that's 100% digital. You got the PEQ 3000, and then you got the Dyne 3000, which are Midas emulation. Midas is a live console that a lot of people use live, but man, they are so warm and musical. Kind of remind me of like a SSL kind of tone. That's post EQ on your master bus, and then mastering. Cairo just told you, and these are only $100 a piece. So they hook up USB. You can use them unlimited. Basically a control surface for your plug-in. And so this room is amazing, man. I mean, for those that say analog summon is out of the question, that's crazy. The space, the depth, the warmth, the width, the headroom that you get from summon through the SSL, Pootie can attest to this. It is crazy. And so you definitely want to get your records mixed and mastered in one of the best rooms in North Central Indiana. That's for sure. We're going to hop over to the second room, which is occupied by my guy, Mark Kyren II, a.k.a. Young Pootie. And this is basically kind of a subdivision, a frequency canvas, still a part of it. And this is called Playhouse Sound. And let's go in here, man. This is a more simple version of what you see. And that's very intentional to be able to have a space that's not as intimidating and be able to have a space where this is really a production room that can track vocals. And obviously, you know, speaking of tracking vocals, you know, we start off with the Aventone CV12, very affordable microphone that a lot of people can use. You know, second mic, you have the Warm Audio U47 Junior FET, which is once again another affordable microphone that sounds great. Pootie has been loving this thing versus the CV12, and I haven't understood why until he hit play, and I said, okay. Okay, I got you. And so in this room, very similar to y'all gonna see a lot of similarities how we designed these rooms. 8400s. These are the OG 8400s. You know, so KRK. So and these Pootie, you attest, these still sound phenomenal, right?
For sure, definitely.
How does the artist enjoy using it?
They enjoy using them for sure.
Okay, so we got 2 of them because that's what you got in here. KRK rackets. Now these are the rackets. I believe these are generation what 3s?
3.
Yeah, let's look. Racket 5. I don't think they say it. No. These are generation 4s. These are the 4s. These are the 4s.
Yeah, G4.
Yeah, these are the generation 4s. I'm sorry. And so once again, just like in the other room, the main nucleus of any studio is going to be a computer, a DAW, which is a DAW, digital audio workstation, and then there's going to be an interface. And you see those same cores in here. The interface that we have right here is the SSL 2 Plus. I told y'all gonna see a lot of similarities. We got the single fader port version right here. And then we got the Akai MPK Mini. I think this is a 25 key, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. 25, 47. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Once again, the great and mighty Focusrite ISA 1 mic preamp. With a fully loaded 2022 Mac Mini. Now I do believe that this is an M1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is an M1. You got the Playhouse Sound up there. It's a vibe at night. You know what I mean? And so you got guys like Mark Econ II, aka Young Pootie, working out of here. Recently we've had Larry the producer come join the family. Shout out to my family, Larry the producer. And man, it's just dope with elevated downtown Marion. And it's pretty dope. And it's great to have 2 different rooms because rather you can tell on camera or not, that room is very intimidating in person sometimes. And 2023, man, it's a difference. A lot of artists got home studios. A lot of artists got, recording on their phone. There's so many crazy different ways people are making records and doing podcasts and different stuff. So when people see that, it's a lot in that room. And so an environment like this reminds you that, that room is a luxury. Even though I will fight as an OG in the game now to say that it's a necessity, the truth of the matter is that it's a luxury. This room is a reminder that you can have the necessities and still make amazing sounding records, depending on your knowledge and your talent at the end of the day. And so, we got 2 rooms now. We got several engineers and producers working down here now. Got an amazing team. And before I get off here, man, there's no way that I'm not going to let my guy show his face. And I'm going to let him say a few words, and then we're going to get off here. Make sure that y'all visit us at frequencycanvas.com. Follow us at Frequency Canvas on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. Email us, office@frequencycanvas.com. And make sure y'all book some studio time. And really, if you want some, even great music production services down here, we got some guys who are producing great songs, making some dope beats. If you want that mixing and mastering at an industry level, I'll take care of you, and the youngins down here doing their thing as well. So Mark gonna get on this camera, and then I'm gonna be out of this piece.
And I ain't even got too much to say besides the fact that Logic Pro X for the win. Always. He gonna say Studio One, but Logic for the win, man. But nah, other than that, man, we just want to see everybody come out here, down to the Playhouse, down to the Canvas, man. 'Cause we working down here. You want to see everybody down here. It's premium recording, premium mixing and mastering by Kyro the GOAT, obviously. And yeah, man, we just want to create. So book some time. Let's put that work in, man. Let's just stay in the creative mind, man. That's really all I got to say, man.
Where can they find you on social media?
They can find me on social media at Young Pootie on Facebook.
Spell that.
YUNGPOOTIE. Young Pootie on Facebook. Young Pootie 74 on all social media other than that, IG, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. You can find me on there. That's all I gotta say, man. I'm ready to see y'all, man. So slide down here, man.
All right, man. We out.